Emergency preparedness. Emergency preparedness refers to the steps you take to make sure you are safe before, during, and after an emergency or natural disaster. For emergencies in South Africa, you can call number 112 from any mobile phone and you will be routed through to your network provider's emergency call center. The operator will put you through to the relevant emergency service. For example, police, ambulance, fire, traffic police, or sea rescue. I'm going to dive into each and every one of these emergency services in this video. As an ordinary person, how prepared are you for emergency? Welcome to Donald Mafumani YouTube channel. This channel is about education, training, coaching, and mentoring for personal development and growth on will to do. For you to appreciate emergency preparedness, it suffices to start with a corporate overview of what legal liability training is, which will enhance your emergency preparedness later in this video. In law, the word liable means responsible or answerable, or in other words, being legally obligated to perform or refrain from performing a task. Legal liability includes both civil and criminal law and can arise from various areas of law. Legal liability training in the mining and minerals sector ensures that both the employer and the employee are aware of what is required of them by the health and safety legislation, namely the Mine Health and Safety Act and the Occupational Health and Safety Act, and what to do in the event a party fails to comply, as well as what the consequences are for non-compliance. These two acts are meant for underground and surface environments respectively. Legal appointment is a formal acceptance of legal responsibility and accountability. It is essentially a contract and requires that the appointed person understands the objectives of the legislation and the requirements imposed by the relevant act. Legal liability training should not be seen to be confined to mining and mineral sector only, but to all sectors of the economy where people are appointed in terms of the relevant legislation. This could go a long way to ensuring responsibility and accountability pertaining to one's legal appointment. Given this legal background, your emergency preparedness is tantamount to answering the standard questions in the reasonable person test. The following are 3 standard questions which you must always live with. First, let's paint a scenario. You have been caught and accused of being drunk while driving and causing an accident on the road. You claim to be a reasonable person. You are therefore expected to answer the following questions in the court of law. Question 1. Would a reasonable person have foreseen that harm or danger could occur? Question 2. Would a reasonable person have taken action in order to avoid the harm or danger? Question 3. Did you take the action that could have been expected of a reasonable person in that situation? The fact that in the first question you answered, yes, a reasonable person would have foreseen that harm or danger could occur, and the fact that in the second question you answered, yes, a reasonable person would have taken action in order to avoid the harm or danger. Question 3, in most cases, will throw you under the bus. Your emergency preparedness begins right here. The purpose of the reasonable person test is to give the jury a concrete, uniform standard when they are looking at the actions of each party in a case. While it is up to the jury to decide what's reasonable in any given situation, the jury evaluates behavior based on an objective reasonable person. Police officers play a central role in emergency preparedness and law enforcement system. They monitor criminal activity, take part in community patrols, respond to emergency calls, issue tickets, make arrests, investigate crimes, and testify in court as needed. For your emergency preparedness, always keep your local police emergency number readily available, as well as national call number 112, as alluded to in the beginning. Ambulance service plays a vital role in saving lives. Its primary purpose is to transport the sick and injured people from the emergency environment to the hospital. If you are a person in authority or a reasonable person in the community, always ensure that road infrastructure is conducive for emergency and other vehicles to drive. For any ambulance service, unnecessary delays on the road to the emergency site can be deadly. For your emergency preparedness, always keep your local ambulance service emergency number readily available. Do basic first aid training and always keep a portable first aid box. Don't forget a national call number 112, as alluded to in the beginning. Fire and Rescue Service provides emergency firefighting and fire protection services for a specific geographic area, which is typically a municipality area. Like the ambulance service, always ensure that road infrastructure is conducive for emergency and other vehicles to drive. For fire and rescue service, any unnecessary delays on the road to the emergency site can be devastating. For your emergency preparedness, always keep your local fire rescue service emergency number readily available. Do basic training on how to use a fire extinguisher and keep a portable fire extinguisher. If you are not working, you may join or form a community emergency response team. Don't forget a national call number 112, as alluded to in the beginning. Road traffic management is the process of controlling the flow of traffic in an area in order to reduce congestion and improve safety. Traffic management typically consists of traffic control measures such as lane closures, speed limits, one-way streets, and turns restrictions. For your emergency preparedness, always carry your driver's license or permit with you. Ensure that your vehicle is roadworthy. Don't drink and drive. By drinking, I mean liquor. Always leave your departure point a few minutes or hours earlier in order to reserve time for unexpected delays to your destination. Aviation services encompass a broad spectrum of activities within the aviation industry, ranging from managing operations, passenger and cargo transport, to facility maintenance and emergency response frameworks. For emergency aviation services provide For emergency aviation services provide air, sea, and air mountain rescue services by helicopter, including wilderness search and rescue. For your emergency preparedness, always keep your local aviation rescue emergency number readily available. Don't forget a national call number 112, as alluded to in the beginning. All videos on this channel are numbered to make it easy for you to follow. This one is number 63 in the series. Before you go, please hit the will to do subscribe star or button below and be notified when a new video is published. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.